a shop somewhere within Mombasa City County, Mr. Speaker. It looks like a hit. In fact, the first time, Mr. Speaker, that video was sent to me, I was shocked that, Mr. Speaker, I was shocked that there were people who were forcibly entering into a shop somewhere in Mombasa, in Mutwapa, to be precise, Mr. Speaker, in Mutwapa. And I was shocked. Even such things do not happen in Haiti, Mr. Speaker. I want to call to upon, and I want to thank the Inspector General of Police because he appeared before the Senate Public Accounts Committee today, Mr. Speaker. I want to appeal to him. There must be a strategy on how to fight criminal gangs. Mr. Speaker, my worry as we go to the election mood, these criminal gangs will be transformed to be used to terrorize, Mr. Speaker, for political expediency, Mr. Speaker. So I want to appeal to the Committee of National Security and Foreign Relations. Please, what we saw in Mombasa, what we are seeing in Kisumu, what we are seeing in Nairobi here, Mr. Speaker, what we are seeing in Eldoret City, Mr. Speaker, and many other counties, Mr. Speaker, this issue must and should be dealt with once and for all. And I want to thank Senator Professor Tom Ojenda that we should stop. We should eliminate. Mr. Speaker, the only final point I want to make, could it be these county governments, Mr. Speaker, I don't know when you were the governor, there is a new habit in town that governors are now recruiting enforcement officers, but they are turning them into militia, like Trans Nzoia, Mr. Speaker. And I have the record to prove. Say that they flock, deal with senators who want to ask questions, Mr. Speaker. Why are we, and we asked the police, Mr. Speaker, the Inspector General, when he appeared today before Public Accounts Committee, Mr. Speaker, that why are you allowing governors to come up with enforcement officers, and then they turn them into mini militia to use for political expediency, Mr. Speaker. These are the issues we must deal with. And I want, Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, to thank the Inspector General of Police because he confirmed to the committee chaired by Senator Moses Kajwang that any governor who will defy the summonses and invitation under Article 125 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, the Inspector General of Police and the police will not hesitate to produce them will not hesitate to arrest them and present them in handcuffs before the committee, because these are the fugitive of accountability, Mr. Speaker. These are fugitive of transparency. And I want to thank the Inspector General of Police, and some of us will be ready not only to shoot, but to shoot from the hip, Mr. Speaker. With those many remarks, I yield back the mic.
Yes, Senate Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I'm concerned because I know earlier this afternoon we had a meeting of the leadership of the House with regards to certain matters that are of public interest concerning the Council of Governors, things that they have raised, and we resolved that there was a communication which you are to give. I'm surprised it's 3:30, Mr. Speaker, an hour later, and you are yet to speak to the House. Mr. Speaker, it's important that the country is updated on this matter. There are certain things that I want to say as Senator. There are certain things that I want to say as Majority Leader. There are certain things that certainly my colleagues want to say about what is happening. So, Mr. Speaker, I don't know what is happening and what is your guidance on this matter. If there are challenges editing, Mr. Speaker, some of us are very fluent in those things. I can volunteer, and I will do better than Senator Matinga, Mr. Speaker, who has brought a new device, Mr. Speaker, but has included a DCP sign. Yet I know it belongs to UDA, Mr. Speaker. If you look at one of the symbols on this tablet, Mr. Speaker, it is something that Senator Matinga deserves punishment from the party that sponsored him to Parliament.
So, Majority Leader, what guidance do you require from the Chair?
When will you give that communication, Mr. Speaker? Because certainly that is the most important business that members want to transact this afternoon. We want to listen to that statement and certainly say a thing or two about what is being discussed out there. Because, Mr. Speaker, you know, that's a grave matter. As we are walking outside there, people are looking at us suspiciously, Mr. Speaker. There are young men in this house, Mr. Speaker, even whose wives are about to suspect that they have other families, Mr. Speaker. Because if what the governors are alleging is true, and we don't go on record, then they'll be asking, where does that money go to, Mr. Speaker? Because I know some of the brokest people in the country are some of the people I see here, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Senator Kathuri.
Honourable Speaker, actually, it's only that the majority leader has left the podium before I informed him. Mr. Speaker, since I've been around for some time, Mr. Speaker, and any communication from the chair has never been a public debate, Mr. Speaker. Because even if you hand a meeting somewhere, even with the leadership, Mr. Speaker, matters to do with the communication from the chair. No senator can preempt what you want to do. Because the sitting, these also will sit up to 6:30 p.m., Mr. Speaker. And therefore, I feel the majority leader, even though he wants to hammer some point somewhere, he should give you time, Mr. Speaker, to settle down. That communication is with Mr. Speaker. And he should give you time to relax and do it the right time, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Senator Enoch.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, two things. One, I think the majority leader is speaking from a position of information that is privy to a discussion where we all sat as leaders. And having interacted with our colleagues before and after that meeting, Mr. Speaker, the expectation on the part of our colleagues is that we need to put this matter to rest. I think the concern is coming from what he began by saying. You know, Senator Tom Ojienda has had an opportunity to seek 4 statements. And now members have started contributing to the statements. The Speaker, as he has said, and he said that looking at me, I don't know why. The Speaker, if there is a problem or a challenge with editing, yours truly is a journalist of long and good standing. I could give pro bono service to edit the document. We lay it on the floor. We put that matter to rest and move on to the next business. As Speaker, I submit.
Now, honorable senators, this is a very weighty matter. It is a matter that touches on the conduct of the business of the Senate, because once you discuss one committee of the Senate, you're basically discussing the Senate. And therefore, I undertook to make a communication today regarding the same. Give me 15 minutes. I will be making that communication. My plea to you is please don't leave the chamber until that communication is made, because it is extremely important that you listen to that communication, and thereafter, of course, I will give opportunity to honorable senators to comment on the same. So kindly stand guided. I plead for only 15 minutes. Then 15 minutes. Then I can make the communication. In the meantime, we'll proceed with the comments on the statements that have been sought pursuant to Standing Order 53-1. Honorable Faki.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii kuchangia taarifa iliyoletwa bungeni na Senator wa Kisumu, Senator Tom Ojienda. Mheshimiwa Spika, magenge ya majambazi ambao wanazurura na kuhatarisha maisha ya watu ni jambo ambalo limekuwa la kawaida katika miji mingi. Kule kwetu Mombasa, Mheshimiwa Spika, magenge haya yako katika sehemu za Kisauni, sehemu za Likoni na hata vile vile sehemu za mjini. Na majuzi Mheshimiwa Spika, kuna baadhi ambao walivamia duka Mtwapa, na ningependa kumweleza Senator Rigel kwamba Mtwapa iko katika kaunti ya Kilifi, ambapo Mheshimiwa Spika ulikuwa gavana kwa miaka 10. Kwa hivyo Mtwapa si Mombasa, Mheshimiwa Spika, Mtwapa ni Kilifi. Kwa hivyo mkuu wa polisi katika eneo la Pwani, Mheshimiwa Spika, Bwana Nuno, majuzi ametoa onyo kwa magenge haya kwamba amepeana amri ya kupiga risasi na kuua. Mheshimiwa Spika, ni jambo la kusikitisha na ni jambo la kutia hofu kwa swala hilo, lakini vile vile magenge kama haya yamezidi kuumiza wananchi. Mheshimiwa Spika, utapata sehemu nyingi maduka yanafungwa mapema, biashara zinafungwa mapema kwa sababu watu wanaogopa magenge haya kuvamia. Utapata vile vile pia Mheshimiwa Spika, wale ambao wanafanya kazi katika mahoteli wanapata shida kurudi majumbani kwa sababu wakirudi baada ya saa 2, Mheshimiwa Spika, tayari imekuwa ni hatari katika sehemu zao. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependekeza kuwa ile sheria ya community policy iweze kutekelezwa ili wananchi na polisi waweze kushirikiana katika kutafuta na kuharibu haya magenge ambayo yanaendelea kuumiza wananchi na kupora mali na bila sheria yoyote. Mheshimiwa Spika, vile vile polisi watafute wafanye ujasusi, Mheshimiwa Spika, ili wajue wale wanaofanya uhalifu kama huu waweze kuwashika na kuwapeleka mahakamani bila ya kuchelewa. Mara nyingi Mheshimiwa Spika, uhalifu unatokea baadaye ndio naona polisi wanakuja mbio. Wangejaribu kutafuta intelligence mapema ili uhalifu uweze kuzuiliwa kufanyika kuliko sisi sasa kuwa tunafukuzana na wahalifu. Mheshimiwa Spika, mwisho ni kwamba mahakama zetu pia, Mheshimiwa Spika, lazima ziwe macho ili kukataa na kuachilia watu hawa kwa bond katika hali ambayo ni ya urahisi. Kwa mfano Mheshimiwa Spika, bondi za watu ambao wanapatikana na silaha ama wanapora watu mali lazima ziwe juu kabisa, ili mtu anapopewa bondi ya kwa mfano $1,000,000 ama $500,000 familia iweze kushindwa kuweza kumtoa mtu yule ili aweze kubaki ndani mpaka kesi itakapokwisha. Hivyo basi Mheshimiwa Spika, tutapunguza visa ambavyo vinaendelea vya uhalifu kama huu. Mheshimiwa Spika, pia polisi wetu lazima wapewe magari ya kutosha. Sehemu nyingi Mheshimiwa Spika, katika eneo la Mombasa gari ni moja ya katika kituo kizima cha polisi. Kuna vituo vingine ambavyo havina magari. Kuna sehemu ambazo DCI wanafanya kazi hawana ofisi. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, lazima miundo msingi ya huduma ya polisi iboreshwe ili kuweza kupambana na magengi na uhalifu kwa jumla kisawasawa. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii.
Honorable Senator Methu.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir, for the opportunity to give my comments, especially on this statement that has been sought by Senator Professor Ojienda on the existence of gangs in most of our towns. Mr. Speaker, sir, the one thing that we cannot allow and the one thing that we must condemn is the creeping back of lawlessness in our nation, Mr. Speaker. And my comments, Mr. Speaker, supporting the statement that has been sought by Senator Ojienda, Mr. Speaker, sir, is my complaint in the, number one, laxity of the National Police Service in tackling this particular issue, which is a threat to our national security, Mr. Speaker. You have seen a trend, a very dangerous trend, Mr. Speaker, of occasionally, especially in political engagements, of armed gangs being escorted by the National Police Service, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, this may look fashionable, especially when you have some opponents that you are running against, but if we allow the gangs to exist today, tomorrow there will be, when the opponent will not be there, you will be the opponent that will be engaging, Mr. Speaker. We have seen cases, case on point, Mr. Speaker, you saw in the very, very infamous Wetima Church attack, Mr. Speaker, you saw criminal gangs being escorted by police in uniform, by police vehicles, Mr. Speaker. And this is something that must be condemned. Mr. Speaker, sir, if there is one body, and if there is a refuge that we all run to, is especially police in uniform. And Mr. Speaker, sir, therefore, the police must remain apolitical. You cannot condone, you cannot support, you cannot escort criminal gangs to go and attack other Kenyans, Mr. Speaker. It is the work of the police to ensure that they deal with these criminals, Mr. Speaker. Finally, then somebody asked that we have sent and we have seen a nation descend into anarchy because of allowing criminal gangs to exist, Mr. Speaker. We have sent our policemen to Haiti to go and help that nation deal with criminal gangs that have disturbed and brought instability to Haiti, Mr. Speaker. So therefore, it cannot be that we send our policemen to Haiti to go and deal with criminal gangs, and police back at home, Mr. Speaker, are supporting and are working in cahoot with criminal gangs, Mr. Speaker, especially for political reasons. This is something that must be condemned by everybody from every political formation, because, Mr. Speaker, violence against me today is not necessarily that the people who are violent against me today are not and shall not be violent against you, Mr. Speaker. We cannot weaponize, we cannot criminalize our democracy, Mr. Speaker. If you don't agree with me, don't send goons, don't send police to come and tear gas me. Go and organize your meeting and come and say so and so was in this place, and what they said I don't agree with it, Mr. Speaker, and so therefore this is what I think is the correct position, Mr. Speaker. But this issue of policemen, goons being used, just this Sunday, Mr. Speaker, on our way from Jambidi to a place called Naivasha, the police were wailing us with goons, Mr. Speaker, in some place called Githafai, trying to stop us from going to attend a political rally in Nakuru. The people of Nakuru are very welcoming. They were waiting for us. A whole huge crowd was waiting for us, Mr. Speaker. But the policemen with goons are laying us on the road, Mr. Speaker. We expect that the police are the ones who should be able to protect and secure us, Mr. Speaker. We can't therefore, Mr. Speaker, on one finger point to criminal gangs that are raining havoc in our towns, Mr. Speaker, but close our eyes when they are being used for political reasons, Mr. Speaker. So I want to support this statement. The National Police Service must remain apolitical. They must ensure that they address this emerging trend, Mr. Speaker, because if we allow it to gain root, Mr. Speaker, then we shall not have a nation. Thank you.
Senator Wambua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also want to add my voice to the statement on the emergence of criminal gangs. Mr. Speaker, truth be told, this is not an isolated case in Kisumu County or in Nairobi or Mombasa. It has become a nationwide catastrophe. Mr. Speaker, we have criminals who have developed very, very high levels of confidence and levels of impunity never witnessed in this country. I want the Speaker to draw the attention of this House to a meeting that we had this morning with the Inspector General of Police, where we were discussing matters to do with collaboration between the Senate and his office, especially in respect to enforcing the appearance of governors before Senate committees. At that meeting, Mr. Speaker, I drew the attention of the IG to a very sad state of affairs in Kitui County, where, Mr. Speaker, there is an ongoing conflict between a criminal enterprise, a cartel of selfish, greedy individuals masquerading as business people who are trading in our sand from our rivers by force. Between them and the community that is saying that this sand is our resource and it must be exploited for the benefit of the entire community now and into the future. So, Mr. Speaker, the day before yesterday, that criminal enterprise ferried gangs armed with pangas and rungus and descended on a community along Mwanya River in Mingi Central constituency, seriously harassed people, beat up people, killed one man, seriously injured 5 of them, raped women, and just disappeared into thin air. Mr. Speaker, my appeal, and for now we can just appeal, maybe going forward the time for appeal may just elapse, I don't know. My appeal, Mr. Speaker, is that the Inspector General of Police will take his commitment to the Senate this morning very seriously. That there is nobody in this country who is above the law. That everybody, including himself, myself, and everybody in this country is a subject of the law. That, Mr. Speaker, action shall not just be of that attack. Mr. Speaker, this matter began a few weeks ago through the hard work of the Senate Public Accounts Committee when we unearthed misreporting on the revenues that the Kitui County government was receiving from sand as a revenue stream. Because they were reporting that they were collecting cess of 11 million the entire year. But we were able to prove to them that from sand alone, the cartels are collecting more than 2 million shillings every day. As long as the Speaker, because that man that died fighting for the resources of the people of Kitui, I want to challenge the county government of Kitui on the floor of the House to make sure that 2 things happen. One, that the burden of burying Mwendwa cannot be a burden of the family. Mwendwa was not fighting for his own resources. He was not fighting for property belonging to himself. He was fighting to safeguard the resources belonging to the people of Kitui. And the county government of Kitui should take full responsibility to make sure that Mwendwa is given a decent burial. Those that have been injured and our mothers that were raped, Mr. Speaker, I want to ask that the law takes full course and full effect. In fact, I want to challenge my colleagues in Kewosa to go down there and have a conversation with those bleeding mothers, because the ordeal that we went through in the hands of criminal gangs, the Speaker, that must prick the conscience of every leader in this country, in this Senate. Mr. Speaker, I submit.
Senator Kinyua. Now, honorable senators, if you get an opportunity to speak, do so for not more than 3 minutes.
Asante Bwana Spika kunipa fursa hii. Na simama kuunga mkono taarifa iliyoletwa na Senator wa Kisumu Profesa Ojenda kuhusu haya magenge ya majambazi. Bwana Spika, haya magenge ya majambazi kwa muda mchache yameonekana kuongezeka, Bwana Spika. Na ikumbukwe hivi juzi tu, nakumbuka kulipokuwa na maandamano ya vijana hapa Nairobi, tuliwaona haya magenge yakiwa yamebeba silaha yakitembea hapa mjini wakisema ya kwamba wao wamekuja kulinda amani. Bwana Spika, ikiwa haya magenge ya majambazi, Bwana Spika, na vikundi haramu vimeendelea kuongezeka, ilhali tuna maafisa wa usalama na tuna asasi nyingi ambazo Wakenya wamejitolea ushuru kuweza kuwa na hawa maafisa wa usalama, Bwana Spika. Kwa hivyo mimi ningependa kumuuliza Inspector General wa polisi avalie njuga jambo hili, kwa sababu Wakenya wanaendelea kusononeka, kuishi kwa maisha ya uoga, kwa sababu hivi vikundi, ukitembea katika sehemu za Laikipia, uende katika vijiji, unapata hivi vikundi kila Ijumaa wanatembelea manyumba na kusema ya kwamba wanataka kupewa kiasi fulani cha hela ili kulinda usalama. Ilhali sisi kama Wakenya, Bwana Spika, tuko na maafisa wa usalama wa kutosha ambao wanapaswa kutulinda. Na ni jukumu ya serikali, Bwana Spika, kulinda mali na maisha ya wananchi. Kwa hivyo tunamuuliza Inspector General aliangalie jambo hili, na kamati yetu, kamati ya usalama ambayo namuona mwenyekiti yuko hapa siku ya leo, jambo hili waliangazie kwa undani, Bwana Spika. Kwetu Laikipia kuna hili genge la majambazi ama kikundi haramu kinajulikana wazi, Bwana Spika, na kuhangaisha watu, si kwa vijiji, masokoni, kwa mabasi, kila mahali, Bwana Spika. Na wakati tunapohangaishwa namna hii na hivi vikundi haramu, tuna serikali na tuna yule ambaye anahusika, na si Inspector General peke yake, Bwana Spika. Tuna waziri wa usalama ambaye alikuwa ni mwenzetu hapa, hata yeye anapaswa aliangalie jambo hili, Bwana Spika, kwa sababu tukilichukulia kwa mzaha, sisi hili jambo linaweza kutuharibia nchi, Bwana Spika, kwa sababu kuna kisingizio, watu wanasema ni ya kwamba pengine hawana kazi, wanalipa pesa fulani, ilhali, Bwana Spika, tumelipa hela za kutosha kwa
Senator Olekina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I've listened to my colleagues comment on this issue of gangs as I rise to support this statement by the distinguished Senator, Senator for Kisumu. Mr. Speaker, what I've not had is how do we tackle this problem? I've had my colleagues pointing a finger at the police, saying the police are the ones who are failing in their jobs. The police should deal with this matter. The distinguished senator who just spoke last said that we have one of our own who is now in charge of the security docket, that he should be dealing with this thing. My concern, Mr. Speaker, is that we are missing the point. The best way to deal with the issue of gangs
is continuous appearance before our oversight committees. And if any of them fails to appear, Mr. Speaker, then let the law follow its course. Because the Parliamentary Privileges Act, Mr. Speaker, as well as all other laws, provide for what you do with errant members of the public who fail to appear or honor parliamentary summons, Mr. Speaker. Parliamentary summons are equivalent, Mr. Speaker, to an order of the High Court of this Republic, and therefore can never be waived by a decision of people who are cooling breeze and enjoying themselves in Kilifi. Then they incite themselves like high school Form 2 students and say, oh, from today we can no longer appear before Senate. That cannot be entertained. Mr. Speaker, you cannot behave in an indignified manner. Then you want to address the House from all the corners of the country saying, oh, we shall come or we shall not come. That can never be waived. Not even you, not even this House, Mr. Speaker, because the Constitution sits at the apex of constitutional order in this country, Mr. Speaker. And it has placed a responsibility on this House on what to do when there are matters that are of concern. I would have appreciated, Mr. Speaker, what I expect a decent governor to do. If you feel you have been harassed by a member of a certain committee, somebody has reached out to you inappropriately, Mr. Speaker, you write to the Speaker and say, I have an issue that I need to bring to your attention because you're the umpire of this House. You are the one that ensures that everything that we do, how we operate, Mr. Speaker, is in accordance with the law, statute, and the Constitution, Mr. Speaker. Then you would have guided them on how to file before the Powers and Privilege Committee, a committee completely different from any other in this House, Mr. Speaker. And this has happened before. It's not the first time. Last time we had mention of such incidences. Yet, finally, Mr. Speaker, when those matters were investigated, when those members of the who are complaining were invited to appear before that committee, Mr. Speaker, they had nothing to share. Unfortunately, they had already besmirched the House, said very unhelpful things about this particular House, Mr. Speaker. That cannot be allowed to continue, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, I appreciate that you have put it on record that any governor who fails to appear before any committee of the House, as expected by the full law, the necessary sanctions must take, Mr. Speaker, President as expected, Mr. Speaker, because we cannot waive that duty, Mr. Speaker, at the altar of political convenience, Mr. Speaker. The last thing that I want to say to you colleagues is that our duty is not a very easy one. Members of the Senate are perhaps the only members actually of elected leadership positions in the country who handle no other public funds except their salary. And that should never be construed to mean that we are cheap people, that we are people that can easily be enticed, Mr. Speaker, so that any time people interact with us, if somebody asks difficult questions, then you believe that maybe there's something they want from you. That is not an accurate representation of who we are as a House of Parliament, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, I register my appreciation to you and to the leadership of this House for that very wise decision, Mr. Speaker. Let them appear so that on the 26th, I want them to come. Because there are many difficult questions beyond even, you know, Mr. Speaker, for the record, that have been an advocate saying, I don't feel that the park is doing even enough than what we need to do. Each of us here, from the counties that we represent, there are more difficult questions that are being asked by Wananchi and the people that we represent than what is even being asked in park, Mr. Speaker. And it is our duty to ensure that we represent our constituents, ask the right question so that devolution succeeds, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I look forward to that interaction on that particular day, hoping that it will put this matter to rest so that we can be back to our constitutional duty of ensuring that devolution succeeds in the Republic of Kenya. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kajuang.
Mr. Speaker, I think in the wisdom of the Speaker, he has allowed me to speak. I am not accused. It is a House that is accused. And I must speak for the House rather than for myself. I have seen my name circulating in what I would call gutter press. It does not scare me. What scares me is the point when this House becomes neutered, rendered weak and ineffective, and micromanaged by the Council of Governors. That must be the focus. It is not about Kajwang or Sifuna or Cherarkei or Mwaruma. It is about this institution where I've chosen to serve for the last 10 years. Mr. Speaker, we have never had a situation where the Council of Governors attempts to define and dictate who sits in which committee. It is unfortunate that today the Council of Governors has close to 5 governors who have been ranking members of this House. The former Speaker of this House, the former Minority Leader of this House, the former Majority Whip of this House, the former Chair of the Public Accounts Committee of this House, the former Minority Whip of this House. We would have expected that over the years, relationships between governors and Senate would improve. Indeed, the Senate is fulfilling its end of the bargain. Every year, we are engaged in conflict with the National Assembly and the National Treasury as we fight for more resources to go to county governments. This year, Mr. Speaker, we have committed ourselves to transfer not less than 450 billion. And when I looked at the dispatch from the cabinet this week, Mr. Speaker, I think the figure that the presidency indicated is going to go to county governments is 495.7 billion. Just a few billions shy of 500 billion. Now, that is a work of the Senate. We have delivered our bit of the bargain. Can't the governors just style up? Can't the governors just take a day? And we're not calling for a week or months, just one day to account for how they're using those resources. Mr. Speaker, if we do not stand up for this House, today it would be Kajwang chairing the committee. Tomorrow it would be my brother, the majority whip, chairing the committee. But if that sword of Damocles coming from the Council of Governors is not severed, then this House will not be able to do anything. In a properly functioning financial system, when you are given money, you account for it before you get more. Over the last 10 years, we have not done so. Mr. Speaker, it is time for us to come up with a framework where if you are giving counties 495 billion, before they come for more, they must account. And that must be the insistence. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank this chair. I want to thank the Speaker and the leadership of this House for not reducing this to an individual problem. And Mr. Speaker, you reached out and spoke with us in the Public Accounts Committee and Public Investments Committee and told us do not go on the defensive because it is not you as individuals. This is a coordinated attack on the institution of the Senate. And you, Mr. Speaker, and the leadership and all members of this House have spoken in unison. Mr. Speaker, allegations have been made against us. Allegations that have not been substantiated, have not been supported by evidence. The rules of debate in this House is that if you cannot substantiate an allegation, you withdraw and apologize. And members here have never hesitated to invoke that particular standing order. Mr. Speaker, I want to challenge the accusers that if they have evidence, let them do it in a proper manner, let them substantiate, and if they cannot substantiate, let them withdraw, let them apologize. Mr. Speaker, the damage has already been done. On the other hand, we as senators, the evidence of theft in county governments is documented. It is in the reports of the Auditor General. Mr. Speaker, in Tharaka Nithi, 35 million was used to buy an incinerator. The EACC has recommended that the DPP press charges. Nothing has happened. Mr. Speaker, let's put it in context because we throw around numbers. 35 million for an average Kenyan earning 30,000 shillings a month. That is his salary for 97 years. 97. Mr. Speaker, in the county of Vihiga, 5 million spent on housewarming is not our invention. It is verifiable. It is in the audit report. It is the documents of the county. A Kenyan earning 30,000 a month, that's his salary for 14 years. In Bungoma, Mr. Speaker, 3.9 million spent on lighting a Christmas tree in September. And I'm happy that the EACC has already swiftly swung in to investigate the matter. 3.9 million for a Kenyan earning 30,000 is his salary for 10 years. Mr. Speaker, in Mandera, 55 million spent on seedlings in a period of drought. 55 million for a Kenyan earning 30,000 is a Kenyan salary for 152 years. None of us is going to live long enough to earn that kind of money. In Embu, 10 million used on a border event. 10 million for a Kenyan earning 30,000 a month is a salary for 28 years. Kenyans need to be outraged by the kind of reports and the kind of stories that come out of the Senate, by the kind of revelations that are coming out of these committees. But what do our governors do? The proverbial thief who turns around and accuses the pursuer that he's the thief. We have had 2 weeks of exposes, Mr. Speaker, not our invention, not fiction, based on audit reports. What are the governors trying to do? Deflect attention and make the Senate look like they're the thieves. Yet they are the ones with documented, where there is evidence, where there is proper reports of theft. Mr. Speaker, let me conclude by saying that I have never seen a situation where you go to court and the suspect insists on empaneling the bench. I have never seen, even in my football days, where the players decide on the referee. It cannot be that the Council of Governors want a user-friendly committee. I pray, Mr. Speaker, and I have firm conviction in your leadership and the leadership of this House, that we are not going to accede to that request. Because if it works in Parliament, today it will be the governors, tomorrow it will be the President making a call. And once they are done with Parliament, they will go to the judiciary. And the constitutional order as we know it will completely die. Let this baby not die in our hands. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank a few counties that are outliers. They have said that they have read the Constitution and the County Governments Act, and they know that when we invite them, we never invite a mongrel called Council of Governors. We sent invitations directly to governors and counties. Narok County, Mr. Speaker, appeared before my committee yesterday. Kitui County appeared before the Public Investments Committee. Laikipia County appeared before the Public Investments Committee. My advice to the governors, we are going to fight for you to get 495.7 billion. Please, just take a day or two to come and tell us how that money has been used, how it's impacting on the lives of the people, and we shall be good. Any other matter will be sideshows that we as a Senate will not tolerate. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for your steadfast support. I want to guarantee this House that we shall continue doing our job in the Public Accounts Committee. If you give us that opportunity, we shall be firm. We shall be very firm. But we shall also be fair. We shall be mindful and respectful. But, Mr. Speaker, where there is evidence of theft of public resources, we shall call them out, and we shall identify the thieves, and we shall tell EACC to deal with them. And, Mr. Speaker, the Inspector General of Police, I want to congratulate him because he's an appointee of this House. He appeared before my committee today, and he confirmed that he agrees that Article 125 puts him in a position of responsibility to produce governors. And his conclusion was this: if a governor refuses to come to the Senate, you just need to write to us and tell us the date and the time when you need that governor, and they'll produce that governor within 24 hours. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank the House for standing for the institution called the Senate.
Senator Murango.
Sana, Mr. Speaker. Kwanza ningetaka niseme ya kwamba ni kweli kwamba yaliyosemwa na magavana haijasemwa kwa wachache, ila imesemwa kwetu zote. Mr. Speaker, ukiona manyoya ujue imeliwa. Mr. Speaker, kitu ambayo sikuweza kuelewa ni kwa sababu walipoongea juu ya yale maneno ambayo walisema, hawakusema kama kuna kitu walipeana. Hawakuwa na shida na kusema hiyo. Lakini walikuwa na shida kwa sababu wanaitwa kuja katika kamati tofauti. Na mmoja wao akasema hata ni vizuri
ask the clerk to summon them. Once they do not honor the summon, then we will proceed to write to them to pay the fine by law. And if they don't pay the fine, because they will be in breach of the law, then we will officially write to IG Kaja, citing this governor for contempt of this House, and asking them to arrest and present them before us. And therefore, in fact, there is a pending request now of Governor of Samburu to be arrested and to be presented before the committee. There are quite a number of governors who appear. They are clueless of what they are doing. For every question they are asked, they turn into their executive, who also have something to hide. And a good example is cited of the governor for Mandera, who alleged was hosting the president today. The governor of Mandera could not be able to explain to the committee the use of 65 million shillings where he purported to have done seedlings. Mr. Speaker, the climate conditions of Mandera are known. And Mr. Speaker, if there are seedlings of that nature which have been prepared or bought for farmers to be planted, whether for mango or whatever plant along the rivers, can be accountable. This committee should be able to go with this governor on site and show us where these seedlings are and count them one by one. And if they don't, then we hand him over to the police. And therefore, there's no one above the law. If you are willing to be extorted, or if you are willing to give a bribe, it means you have a problem. I have not known Governor Nyang' Nyong'o to give any bribes or to complain of any extortions. He does not bother about it. And he's not the only officer in government who presents perfect work. There are quite a number of officers in government who are very good with their job, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, we want the ones who have a problem to emulate the good ones. A lot of monies now are unexplained from the counties. A lot of monies are unexplained for those governors who have already joined the bandwagon and are using their monies to fund activities of political parties. They are also using these monies to fund presidential campaigns, 2 early presidential campaigns. This money is meant for the counties. And even the main government, we really push it to get the allocation. There are so many counties without water. There are so many counties which have dirty hospitals, where there are no incinerators to burn the effluent from the hospitals, which is very dangerous. Their hospitals are dirty. The materials used, the beddings used by patients are very dirty. In fact, such hospitals are even a death trap to people who go there. And a governor who does not even visit that hospital dare say that we should not visit counties. Mr. Speaker, today, the IG has offered to give us full security when we go to apprehend governors in their counties, when we visit, when we go to inspect, so that no senator will feel intimidated. And any governor who obstructs justice then should be charged with immediate effect with obstruction of justice, so that the governors can account for the monies given to them by the public. This is the work of Senate. As I conclude, because I know other members want to contribute, then the Senate is the last source of defense, is the last line of defense of this country. The governors have already intimidated quite a number of counties or colluded with them, and counties are not doing their job. So we really want county assemblies to be empowered, Senate to be empowered, so that devolution can work in this country. Mr. Speaker, I do thank you. Let me yield so that other members can contribute. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So, Honorable Senators, through consensus, we have agreed that because we have 5 senators left, then we can do 5 minutes each, so that at least all of you can be able to make a comment. Senator Chalagay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I agree, because in the interest of time and everybody to get, I'll just make 2 points. Mr. Speaker, as everybody has said, the work we do as Public Accounts Committee is anchored under Article 229 of the Constitution 2010, where we consider the OAG reports that are tabled before the House. Mr. Speaker, all of us in this House, or anybody who is a holder of public office, took an oath of office, Mr. Speaker, to protect and uphold this Constitution. We are exercising these powers deriving from the people and by the people, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to warn governors, because when I saw 39 of them who signed a communication, and I'm happy, Mr. Speaker, you have noted they have not sent you a letter having either of my name or the 4 senators that they have alleged they have been named, Mr. Speaker, is very unfortunate. And I hope, and I request, Mr. Speaker, if you grant audience to them on Thursday this next week, they must provide an qualified apology to me and my other 3 colleagues who are mentioned. We are victims of a vicious corruption that is fighting hard, Mr. Speaker. I want to challenge Kenyans who have been following public accounts meeting, and you are in one of them, Mr. Speaker. The reason they are naming the 4 of us, myself included, is because we do not tolerate, Mr. Speaker. When the governor buys 3.6 million worth of Christmas tree, does he want us to clap and give him stand ovation? When a governor purchases 55 million worth of seedlings in Mandera, which is a dry area, does he want us to clap for him? When a governor does a housewarming party of a speaker in Vihiga County where there is no drugs in hospital, does he want us to clap for him? When the governor of Nandi Sang uses 41 million to do car hire purchases and car hire services for personal escapades, does he want me to clap for him? No, we will resist, Mr. Speaker. I was embarrassed that the chair of COG, Governor Ahmed Abdullahi, who read the communique from the Mr. Speaker. Can you believe in Wajir town today as we talk, there are people who have been hired to go and collect toilet waste every evening, and he has an audacity to lecture some of us? Can you believe in Wajir town there is no dumping site, Mr. Speaker? And he does lectures as a COG chair. Mr. Speaker, when I see him Look, for example, in Wajir, he was using 195 million shillings on travel for personal escapades in Dubai, South Africa, and America. Yet he puts only 100 million to relief services. Yet Wajir is affected by drought. Mr. Speaker, he is using 194 million to purchase the purchase of the office furniture of the governors by the OAG report. Yet he gives 100 million only to emergency services. Yet he also does it of using close to 200 million to buy the seats. I don't know whether it has a massage those seats or what does that mean? Mr. Speaker, Wajir has a pending bill that grew to 5.5 billion Kenya shillings. 1.5 billion shillings is on statutory deductions. I want to appeal to the EACC to move with speed and prosecute and investigate the Wajir County government and the governor. 1.5 billion, for us who are lawyers in this house, know that when you deduct, you don't remit deductions, that is theft of 1.5 billion, Mr. Speaker. So it is embarrassing, Mr. Speaker, that these people are using the thief in now running away. Mr. Speaker, you have seen in town, when you catch a thief, when they see you, they say, no, this one is the other thief, Mr. Speaker. We want to warn them, Mr. Speaker, that accountability is not a privilege, is not a favor, it is a constitutional implication, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, there are three things I want to request of Kenyans. Do a citizen arrest of any governor who refuses to appear before the Senate. That is what the law provides. I want to appeal to my people of Nandi, whenever you support Governor Sang, do a public citizen arrest, bring him to the Senate. Even in Makueni, even in Meru, if he refuses, but at least he came, Mr. Speaker. Number two, when we will be tabling a report, we need to declare some of these governors as unfit to all public office. Because I am going to read Article 2265, Mr. Speaker, in quick succession. If the holder of a public office, including a political office, directs or approves the use of public funds contrary to the law or instructions, the person is liable for any loss arising from the use and shall make good the loss, whether the person remains the holder of the office or not. So I want to warn governors, as they speak, as they yell, as they call themselves excellencies, Mr. Speaker, Article 226, Sub-Article 5 of the Constitution of Kenya is waiting for them, Mr. Speaker, and they should be punished, Mr. Speaker. Finally, for those governors who are seeking re-election, I want to appeal to the Kenyan voters, punish them by chasing them away to go to their homes and get people who can be held accountable. With those many remarks, Mr. Speaker, I want to say I will not be intimidated, I will not be blackmailed. We shall soldier on, Mr. Speaker, a luta continua, and I yield back.
Thank you, Senator Chelagey. I think there is a system failure, because after you did your 5 minutes, still you have still the mic is on. So I think the timing. Senator Mohamed Faki.
Umemwongezea dakika 5 nyingine, kwa sababu ni katika wale washtakiwa wane ambao Mheshimiwa Spika, kwanza nichukue fursa hii kukupongeza kwa taarifa yako ambayo imetetea bunge hili, Mheshimiwa Spika. Jambo la pili, pia ningependa kuwapa kongele kamati hizi mbili zikiongozwa na Senator Kajwang na Senator Ososi kwa kazi nzuri ambayo wanafanya. Mheshimiwa Spika, nilihudumu katika kamati hii ya uhasibu mwaka 2017 mpaka 2019-20. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, kazi hii sio kazi rahisi kwa kusema ukweli. Na nimefurahi pia kwamba sasa wanafuatilia mambo yanayotendeka sasa. Wanakagua hisabu za sasa. Kwa mfano, mwaka huu hivi sasa wanakagua hisabu za mwaka 2024-2025 ambao ni mwaka ulikwisha mwezi Juni mwaka jana. Mheshimiwa Spika, jambo ambalo ningependa tu kuwasisitizia ni kwamba wakati wanafanya hii kazi lazima wawe kwa Kiingereza tunaweza kusema steadfast. Hakuna kucheka na magavana ama kupigana pambaje, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa sababu wanapokuja pale wanakuja kujibu maswali ambayo yanahusiana na ubadilifu wa fedha za umma. Kwa hivyo upande mmoja wewe unawachunguza na upande mwingine unacheka nao kama ambao nyinyi ni marafiki na mlihudumu pamoja katika ubadilifu wa fedha hizo. Kwa Mheshimiwa Spika, kamati hizi lazima zionyeshe sura ya kazi wakati wanafanya huu uhasibu, kwa sababu ndio njia pekee ya kuonesha wa Kenya kwamba wako serious katika kazi ambao wanaifanya. Mheshimiwa Spika, jambo la pili ni kuwa ni masikitiko kwamba ripoti zetu nyingi ambazo zimeweza kutolewa katika bunge hili hazijafanyiwa kazi. Taasisi za kupambana na ufisadi, taasisi ya ODPP, kiongozi wa mashtaka, Mheshimiwa Spika, zimekalia ripoti hizo. Na mbali na ripoti hizo, Mheshimiwa Spika, kila siku mara kwa mara wakati kamati hizi zinaangalia hizi kazi, wanatoa maagizo kwa EACC, wanatoa maagizo kwa ODPP kwamba swala hili lichunguzwe na hatua zichukuliwe kabla ya mambo kwenda mbali. Lakini Mheshimiwa Spika, inachukua muda kwa kamati hizi kwa taasisi hizi mbili kuendeleza uchunguzi na vile vile kuchukua hatua, hata kama kuna uwazi kwamba pesa zimeweza kubadilishwa, kupotea na kuweza kufanyika ubadilifu wa fedha na gavana wanaohusika. Mheshimiwa Spika, ni kinyume na maadili kwa magavana hawa kupitia kwa baraza lao kusema kwamba wao ndio waweze kuchagua kamati, wao wanaweza kuchagua wanakamati, na kesho pia watasema sisi tunataka tuchague prosecutor huyu ama tuchague jaji huyu kwa sababu tunaona kwamba huyu aliyeko hawezi kutufanyia haki. Mheshimiwa Spika, hiyo haiwezi kukubalika kwa sababu hakuna mtu ambaye anajihukumu mwenyewe. Lazima wenye kuhukumu na wenye kuchunguza wawe ni watu tofauti na mshtakiwa ambaye yuko mbele ya mahakama. Mheshimiwa Spika, jambo la mwisho ni kwamba komiti inafuatilia ripoti ambazo zimefanywa na maauditor. Na kabla ripoti kuletwa hapa, Mheshimiwa Spika, auditor huwa anampa nafasi gavana ama ampa nafasi ile county husika kutoa ripoti ya yale mambo ambayo yameonekana kwamba yamefanyika kinyume na sheria. Mwisho wa mwaka, Mheshimiwa Spika, tarehe 30 Juni, county hizi zina nafasi ya miezi miwili kutengeneza ripoti zao. Baada ya kutengeneza hizi ripoti, Mheshimiwa Spika, auditor anakuja anachunguza vile vitabu, na baada ya kuchunguza anatoa ripoti yake, na ile ripoti inapelekwa kwa serikali ile ya county, na serikali ya county ina siku 30 ya kujibu. Baada ya kujibu, Mheshimiwa Spika, ndio ripoti ya auditor inaletwa hapa kwa yale mambo ambayo yameweza kuchunguzwa na kuonekana kwamba hayafai. Lakini Mheshimiwa Spika, licha ya hivyo, county hizi bado hutaka muda zaidi. Watakuja hapa waseme kwamba hii ripoti hatukutengeneza, hatukuweza kuijibu kwa sababu tulikuwa hatuna rekodi, na visingizio vingi vingine ambavyo wanaweza kutumia kuweza kuchelewesha mchakato wote wa hii kazi ambayo inafanyika na kamati hizi. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, wakati wa kubembelezana umekwisha. Wengi hivi sasa wanakuja kulalamika waombe waweze kupewa muda. Lakini Mheshimiwa Spika, tukiangalia kwamba kamati inatakana itoe ripoti kufikia tarehe 31 Machi, na inaangalia hisabu za kaunti 47. Mheshimiwa Spika, hiyo ni kazi kubwa sana kufanyika kwa muda wa miezi miwili. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika,
umeyoyoma. Senator Kinyua.
Asante sana Spika kunipa fursa hii. Kwanza kabisa nataka kushukuru Spika kwa taarifa nzuri ambayo ulisoma, na vile vile kushukuru uongozi wa jumba hili kwa msimamo wao dhabiti na kusimama kidete kutetea na kuheshimika kwa nyumba hii. Bwana Spika, kamati ya uhasibu inayoongozwa na Senator Kajwang pamoja na kamati hiyo nyingine ambayo inaongozwa na Osoti, nataka kuwapongeza kwa kazi nzuri waliofanya. Bwana Spika, ukisikia kuna hivi vizingizio ambavyo vinaletwa na hawa magavana kusema ya kwamba kuna maseneta waliowataja wanawaitisha hela. Bwana Spika, hakuna mtu yoyote anaweza kukuitisha hela. Nilimsikiza gavana wa kutoka Kisii akisema ya kwamba Nilimsikiza akisema ya kwamba ati wewe atakapoitwa utasema wewe nilikupatia. Bwana Spika, ikiwa umefanya kazi ambayo unapaswa kuifanya, umefanya kwa makini bila shida yoyote, ni mambo gani haya unasema ya kuhusu hela? Maseneta hawa wamefanya kazi ambayo wanapaswa kufanya, na nataka kuwapongeza na waendelee na mtindo huo wa kuziangazia kaunti hizi. Bwana Spika, nikiangalia majina yaliyopeanwa ni maseneta ambao wanauliza maswali magumu. Seneta Sifuna, Seneta Kajwang, Seneta Cherargei. Baada ya hao kuulizwa maswali magumu, hawezi wakajibu. Nilimsikiza Seneta Governor akiulizwa swali kuhusu mbegu. Hakuweza kujibu vile ambavyo ametumia hela zaidi ya milioni 55. Lakini baada ya hapo sasa wameleta visingizio kusema seneti inafanya. Sisi tunafanya kazi hapa katika kamati zetu tukiongozwa na katiba, tukiongozwa na katibu za kudumu za seneti hii. Kwa hivyo Bwana Spika, mtu yoyote kusema kuhusu kamati hii ni kuonyesha ishara ya kwamba unajaribu kudhihaki seneti hii kwa kazi yake. Bwana Spika, tutalinda, tutatetea katiba ya nchi hii kwa jino na ukucha, kwa sababu hiyo ndio kazi yetu Bwana Spika. Na inapaswa ijulikane wazi Bwana Spika, sisi katika seneti hii hakuna mtu yoyote mwingine anapaswa kuja kutuambia, kwa sababu nimesikia wanasema ya kwamba ati kamati hiyo inapaswa wengine waondolewe, wabadilishwe. Mimi msimamo wangu Bwana Spika, kama ni kubadilishwa, wabadilishwe, na mwenyekiti akuwe ni Kajwang, naibu wake akuwe ni Mwaruma, na wale wanakamati warudishwe wao, kwa sababu wamefanya kazi ambayo inapaswa na wamefinya vizuri. Ndiposa magavana wamejikusanyika na kusema ya kwamba watakuja wakati hii kamati itabadilishwa. Lakini hiyo haitawezekana kwa sababu Spika umesema vizuri sana katika taarifa yako ya kwamba hakuna mkutano wowote, na mkutano ambao umetaja mtakutana nao tarehe 26 utawezekana tu ikiwa wao watafuatilia kukuja katika vikao vya seneti na kuleta taarifa ambazo wanaulizwa kuleta. Bwana Spika, haiwezekani seneti hii ni nzuri tu wakati sisi tunapigana kufa kupona kuongeza pesa zinazoenda katika gatuzi zetu. Ni hivi juzi tu Bwana Spika, hata kwetu Laikipia tulikuwa hapa tunang'ang'ana ndio hela ziweze kuongezeka. Wewe ukaniunga mkono Spika na maseneta wengine, na hela zikaongezeka zinazoenda Laikipia kwa milioni 700. Zile pesa ambazo ziliongezwa kwa kaunti ambazo zilisemekana ni kaunti ndogo, ama kaunti ambazo zilikuwa zinapata idadi kidogo ya hela. Bwana Spika, Lamu, Nyandarua na kaunti zile zingine ambazo ziliongezwa. Lakini wakiambiwa wawajibike kwa zile hela, wanaanza kuleta vijisababu. Bwana Spika, vijisababu, sijui hatuwezi kuja, sijui tunaitishwa hela, sijui tunatukanwa. Wewe magavana, nataka kuwaambia nyinyi magavana, mfuate sheria, kwa sababu katika katiba ya Kenya kipengee cha 125 kinasema ya kwamba seneti hii inapaswa kuita mtu yoyote, awe ni gavana awe nani, aweze kuulizwa maswali na kuleta kama ni ushahidi ambao unahitajika, nyinyi bila kupeana vijisababu. Bwana Spika, unajua baada yao
next is Senator Veronica Waheti Maina.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand in support of the communication that has been given by you, Mr. Speaker, giving direction to the statement that was given by the Council of Governors, led by the Chair, who read out what I would call a very alarming statement. Alarming because Council of Governors has been entrusted with national revenue resources that are disbursed to the counties. In fact, I am surprised because most of the governors that we have are people who are very well educated, very well schooled, who have been given an opportunity to serve counties in this republic. And they very well know that the Senate serves to protect the interests of the counties in line with Article 96. I'm also very sure that governors know that Senate determines allocation of national revenue among counties. And this is very well provided in Article 217, and Senate exercises oversight of a national revenue that has been allocated to the counties. Honorable Speaker, what is shocking is, in the current financial year, a whopping sum of 415 billion has been disbursed to the counties or is in the course of being disbursed to the counties. And Speaker, the PAC committee, the Senate Public Accounts Committee, is mandated under Article 229 to carry out the work of oversight over how those resources are being spent within the counties. Let me therefore say, with this kind of resource disbursed to the counties, it was shocking, it was alarming that the only tackle the chair of Council of Governors could give to Senate and to the public of in the Republic of Kenya was to question and allude that there are some senators who are extorting them. I would not deny, neither would I admit. But I would have said, if they have legal personnel in those counties and within the Council of Governors, did they not bother to give more information to the public? Because corruption has riddled our country, and it is important for leadership to take responsibility for statement issued, especially at that level. If a governor has been extorted by senators, do they know the names of the people who extorted them? Do they know the names of the senators? If they do, did they give the money they were being extorted? How much did they pay? What was the source of the money they paid to the senators? Have they reported to EACC or to any other agency of extortion that is existing within that committee? It would also be sad to think that the committee would be extorting. But what I would say, is this the most responsible reaction to a problem if there exists one? I would say this: if the Council of Governors is very serious about the claim and the allegation of extortion, offer more evidence, report to the right desk, seek for support and help. And for the governors, have they paid that money? If they have, why don't you come out and say, I've given 2 million to A, 10 million to B, and this is my support on how I have done that. But to give a statement of that nature, I hope it will not end here, but there will be more accountability. Now, the recourse they have gone for, that they will boycott this committee, which is dispensing its constitutional mandate, is that the response that they should have had to the problem that they were experiencing, if at all? I believe this is a wrong approach. First of all, it is denigrating to the Senate.